Or one of our pre-boards this morning.
Hey, what are we doing?
One of the pre-boards
We are
only.
getting ready to go back to New York, pack up our home.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, everyone? We're doing a big thing right now, and that big thing is we're moving. We're saying goodbye to New York. It's been almost 10 years of me living here, almost 10 years of my wife living here. We met each other here. All our kids were born here. Unfortunately, we had to bury a son here. Yeah, it's been a wild ride. Now we're starting a new chapter. You don't realize how much crap you have until you start packing it all away and you decide, hey, most of this stuff can probably be thrown away. We've spent... Turn this. We've just spent all day with some of our best friends packing. It is surreal to be leaving New York City right now. Tomorrow morning the moving truck comes and it will be packing up our entire life and shipping it 3,000 miles to the other side of the country. So, yeah, this is our goodbye to New York. We're taking our final stroll around New York City today. Gonna hit up Jacob's Pickles, which is one of our favorite restaurants.
It's worth the 40-block walk.
Yeah, it's worth the 40 block right now, even though it's like 100 degrees out today.
One of the hottest days to be moving, but
we didn't
have
move.
to do it.
We hired movers. I highly recommend hiring movers.
Schleppers.
Yeah, shout out to Schleppers for sure. Y'all did an amazing job. So yeah, we've decided to leave New York City. I'm gonna miss it a ton. I love it here. Love the people, love the food, love the vibe. We're moving to San Diego. We're ready to start a new chapter, hang out at the beach more every day, learn how to surf, do some snorkeling, scuba diving, be closer to travel to the South Pacific. Yeah, it'll be cool. It sucks to leave New York this way. We've known a bunch of people. It's kind of like people just up and vanished from New York City. It's been crazy. And we never wanted to leave like this. We wanted to be able to say goodbye, go to all our favorite restaurants, eat at our favorite places, and visit our favorite spots. Go to where Brooke and I met. Take the kids to see where we met, go to our old apartments, which actually we might go to our old apartment. We're not too far from it when we go to Jacob's Pickles. I'm gonna miss New York for sure, and I know my wife is too. So I'm up here at, let's see what's going on with this. So I'm up here at 72nd and Broadway. I think I'm out of focus. What's up with this thing right now? Yeah, I'm up here at 72nd and Broadway. Or not 72nd and Broadway. I'm up here at 72nd and Riverside. This is about 20 blocks from where Brooke and I had our first apartment. Our first apartment was 93rd and Riverside, right by Joan of Arc Island, which we like to call Rat Island because as soon as the sun went down, the rats came out. Or before the sun came up, the rats were out. It's pretty gross. But yeah, we're here at 72nd and Broadway. Brooke actually used to live right down 72nd Street. Right when we met, that's where she was living. Here's a funny story. When we first we're looking for apartments to move in together, we called a bunch of brokers around. We were like, hey, we're looking for a 1-bedroom on the Upper West Side, and we don't want to pay more than $2,000. And they're like, that doesn't exist. And we're like, no, it does. We have some good friends that live at 93rd and Riverside, and they pay under $2,000. And no one would believe us. Everyone said, no, you're joking, or would laugh right in our faces. And then guess what? We found the place, a building, or we found an apartment in the same building as our friends. And so for the first year of our marriage, we got to live right above some of our best friends. It was so much fun. But yeah, we did find that elusive under $2,000 1-bedroom apartment on the Upper West Side. So Brooke and I are here at one of our favorite spots in the city, good old Barnes & Noble. We would frequently go to Jacob's Pickle and then come here.
We've spent many a dates here. One, because when we first got married, we were super poor, and so this was a very easy, free date spot. And then as our family has grown, like, we all just love reading, so we brought our kids here and spent many afternoons just reading books in the children's section. And we've, pretty much anytime we were in the area, we always stopped in here. And,
And this is our last time here?
Yeah, fitting that we would be picking up Jacob's Pickles and stopping by Barnes & Noble. Oh, it's recording.
Yeah. You said you want to ask me some questions.
I said we can take turns asking each other questions.
So you go first.
Okay. What are you gonna miss most about New York?
The thing I'm gonna miss the most about New York is probably all the museums.
Which one was your favorite?
I think the Met was my favorite.
Really?
Yeah, I love the Met.
I know you love the Met. I just really thought you would say the Natural History Museum.
No.
Do you always take the kiddos there?
It was just closer. Nobody wants to trek to the east side with children. By myself, I go to the Met any day. We got like 3 kids in tow. So you're just at the Natural History Museum. Favorite date in New York City?
Okay. 2 of them.
You gotta choose one.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, going to the house down in Union Square, that's one of our favorite places. We usually went on anniversaries.
Yeah,
It's nice.
it's a good place.
And always followed up by a trip to Barnes & Noble.
Or Strand.
Or Strand, yeah, because you're down in Union Square. Favorite memory with the kiddos here?
Actually taking them to One World Trade Center. That was really fun. I just took them right before Jackson was born. Brooke was on bed rest, and so I just took them out to do something for like half the day. I think we go to get ice cream afterwards. Yeah, we did actually. We get ice cream afterwards. Then we biked down. Yeah, we biked down, then biked to 72nd and got ice cream.
And I've never been on top of the World Trade Center.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
You should go sometime.
Oh, yeah.
I guess what's the thing you'll miss most about New York?
People. I know, like, New York gets a stigma of, rude, hostile New Yorkers, but I love people. It's just it's a layer of protection because the city is so busy and you have no personal space, so that layer is there. But once you peel back that layer, New Yorkers are some of the greatest people you'll ever meet, and we've met some of the greatest friends that will have friends for a lifetime, and it's really, really hard to leave. Leave our friends behind, friends that we've known since before we were married and before we had kids, and we went from, you know, just being a handful of young married couples to families way too large to sit in a restaurant together. What was your favorite apartment that we lived in, and why?
My favorite apartment would be I think our first apartment. I just think, you know.
But I'm not talking about location. I'm talking about the apartment.
Oh, I would say this one.
Okay.
I mean, this is the nicest apartment.
Yeah.
Pretty
Tell
new.
them about our apartment.
It's about 800 square feet. It's 2-bedroom.
We have a doorman.
We have a 24/7 hour doorman, 24/7 hour maintenance crew,
Playroom.
a playroom, a gym.
Courtyard, bicycle storage.
Yeah, I mean it's a nice building to live in.
We live in like what, you know, you just like iconic New York style apartment, and
What is that iconic New York style apartment?
well, I mean like what you see about the movies, like
Not really. We live in a decent apartment.
oh, it's nice. You know, like you watch a movie like kids growing up with a doorman.
Yeah.
You know, like that's all our kids have known. That's like their normal to be best friends with our doorman
That's
for
true.
the past several years.
That's true.
And our building, this building's really unique too because there's probably what, like 500 apartments between,
Probably in a lot of families in this place. In this
and
apartment.
like 80% of the people who live here are families, and families that go to the school that is
Right next door, yeah.
right there. So it's been really fun because, like, you know, in the suburbs, kids, you know, play with all the neighborhood kids on their block or whatever, and then our building, kids run up and down the hallway and you find each other on the different floors, and just, you know, we've had like a really strong sense of community even just within our building, which again is why I love New Yorkers.
What's one thing you won't miss about New York?
Oh, that's a good question. One thing I won't miss. I really love New York. I don't know. That's hard. Roaches and mice. Thank goodness in this apartment that we're in currently, we've not really had any issue with that. But it's pretty standard for the typical New York apartment to have problems with mice and roaches. And I was scarred in our previous apartment. Now I still
Because we had both.
yeah, I'm bad. So now I'm like terrified to open a cabinet under the sink or anywhere I'm at ever. So I will not miss that. Can I ask you the same thing?
Yeah.
What are you gonna miss most?
What am I not gonna miss?
Yeah, what are you not gonna miss?
I'm not gonna miss rush hour on the subway in 90-degree weather, or whenever it rains,
Yeah.
because the trains just get packed and people just get cranky, and it's inevitable that the train will stop running in the middle of a station, and you just get stuck there for like an hour. Luckily, the last few years, I've mostly commuted on a bike.
Yeah.
It has helped a lot alleviate that, especially on hot summer days. I might commute to work on the train, but I'll commute home on a city bike or on my own bike, or and just not take the train home. Because my office isn't too far from here. Is there anything on your New York City bucket list that you did not get to do ever in your 9 years here?
Oh, okay. That's an excellent. So we started talking about moving a couple years ago, and so I started making a good bucket list then, and thank goodness we did kind of start chipping away at that, because then coronavirus, who would have ever thought that, you know, things would be in the state that they are in. It's kind of a bummer that we didn't get to do some, like, you know, last time favorite things. But what's left on my list is mostly some Broadway shows. If you know me, then you know that I like to play the Broadway lottery.
And she wins a lot
I
of
won
it too.
a lot.
Too bad she can't win at real lottery.
So I was pretty determined to not, you know, we live here, and so I'm like, at some point I'll win tickets to go to these shows and not have to pay full price. So the ones that were still on my list, I think, were Hamilton and Lion King. I've seen before, but I really wanted to take Finn to see it. I think that was probably about it that was on my bucket list. Okay, was the craziest thing that you've ever been witness to in New York City?
I mean, craziest thing, people transporting furniture on the subway. That's up there. Trying to think what else. I mean, I'm sure I've seen crazy things. I just don't remember. So many crazy things I've seen.
That it becomes normal?
Yeah, just like normal.
I will add to that there was a time coming home from church that Finn threw up all over me in the back of a taxi.
Oh, yeah.
And we had to get out and walk the rest of the way home. And two things. One, it felt terrible to be leaving this man's taxi covered in vomit. And I'm like, sorry. And then the second thing is that stuck out of my mind because I walked home 10 blocks covered in vomit and not a single person batted an eye. You know, like, New York is known for some crazy stuff. And,
Yeah.
you know, it's normal.